Hey guys, so today I am doing the Profusion Neon palette. This is what it looks like. I feel like neon shadows are going to get even more popular because everybody has to wear a mask everywhere they go, so the only part of your makeup that anybody can see is your eyes. So if you want your eyeshadow to stand out or your eyes, and you do bright colors, then people will definitely notice, especially if you're wearing a mask and they can't see the rest of your makeup. So in order to save time, I have all my makeup done except for eyeshadow, eyeliner, and mascara, and of course eyeshadow primer. Speaking of which, um, when I bought my first, well, it wasn't my first, it was my second, but when I bought the Profusion Kaleidoscope palette, I also bought their No Budge eyeshadow primer. This is fantastic. I have used this with many eyeshadows in my collection, and no matter what eyeshadow I use it with, no matter what brand, in other words, this works great. That cannot be said for every eyeshadow primer. I've had problems in the past many times with certain eyeshadow primers only working with certain eyeshadows. This you can use with anything and you won't have any issues. The only place you can get it, unfortunately, is select Walmarts and Profusion's website. And it's very inexpensive. I don't know why, but $4 is ringing in my head, but I don't know if that's the right price or not. So don't quote me on that one. Okay, so I went to my local Walmart the other day. And the reason why I say that is my Walmart is awful. The beauty section, they never fill it. Everything is broken and damaged and nothing's in the right slot. And they never seem to stock it. It's always, like, I kid you not, 90% empty. I want to write a letter or something to the manager of my local store and make him aware of this or something, because it drives me crazy. Because all the other Walmarts that I've ever been to are not like the one near me. They're nice, they're stocked, it's clean and neat and organized. So I don't know why I have to get the crappy one. But anyway, sorry. That really bothers me, but I don't feel like there's much I can do about it. I bet you if I complained to the manager, he would not do anything about it, because if he cared, it wouldn't be like that, right? I mean, as the store manager, don't you walk around and see what your store looks like once in a while? But anyways, so I went to the Profusion section, and this was just sitting dead center. Nothing wrong with it. Hadn't been opened or dropped or anything. It was just sitting dead center and jumping out off the shelf at me saying, "Buy me, buy me." And I was like, okay. This is one of their $5 palettes. I have never tried any of their $5 palettes, so I wanted to give that a go today. And something that is maybe gonna upset some of you, and I'm sorry if it does, but this is just how I feel. I don't think I'm going to do swatches of eyeshadows anymore. Because, wait a minute, before you get upset. Let me tell you why. I don't feel like swatches are any indication of how an eyeshadow is going to perform on your eyes. Now, I've said this before in the past, and I said, oh, from now on when I do swatches, I'm going to put a primer down, then I'm going to swatch over the primer, but that doesn't really work because not everybody uses the same eyeshadow primer. So that would only work if you were using the primer I was using, which, what are the odds of that? Not very good, probably. So I'm not going to do swatches anymore because I feel like it is a very poor reflection of how an eyeshadow is going to perform. So today we're going to find out whether or not their $5 palettes are the same quality as the last palette I bought, which was the, I don't know if you can see it back there behind the dolls, the Kaleidoscope palette. I was really impressed with that. And of course, like I said, I only use their eyeshadow primer now. All my other eyeshadow primers are being ignored. By the way, speaking of that, I repurchased MAC Painterly Paint Pot not too long ago. That was like the last eyeshadow primer type product that I bought. I don't know what the deal is with that. I don't know if it was old because I bought it at a CCO, but it does not perform the way I remember paint pots performing. So that's why I stopped using that and haven't been using that, because my eyeshadows weren't going on nicely over it. So I'm thinking I might have got an old one. If it's at the CCO, chances are it is old. Okay, enough talk, more action, right? Okay. So let's grab my eyeshadow brushes that I pulled out here. And the first one that I would like to reach for is not in front of me. That's always the way. Sometimes I apply my eyeshadow primer with my fingers. Sometimes I like to use a brush. Today I feel like using a brush. This is a Wet n Wild large shader brush, and this is a good brush to apply eyeshadow primer with. I don't know, I just feel like it works good for that. You can find these very, very inexpensive. I seen them at Dollar Tree for $1, and then at regular stores, I'm not sure, I don't remember now. I bought a ton of them one time because I wanted to just have a bunch of them sitting around that I could use anytime I wanted to. Okay, this is super, super concentrated, you guys. That's probably even too much. So let me put some of that. Let's put some of it on both eyes and sort of spread it around. I bet you that is going to be enough to do both eyes. Yeah, this is so concentrated, because if you use too much, you won't be able to blend it out. It'll be too thick. And then your eyeshadows could do weird things. I forget who I was watching the other day. They had used so much eyeshadow primer, and I thought, wow, your eyeshadows aren't going to blend on top of that, because even after she let it sit for a few minutes and it dried down, it was just a big cakey mess. So yeah, don't do that. You don't need a ton of eyeshadow primer. Just use enough to cover that area and give you like a nice thin, fresh canvas to work on. Okay, so I definitely have an idea in mind, but let's take a look at this palette. It is all matte neons except for this shade right here. This is called Psych, and it's a shimmery yellow, and there are multiple reasons why I wore this top today, but it's a long story, so you'll find out in the next video more than likely. So we have a shimmery yellow, and then the rest are just matte neons. That's it. So I think you probably have an idea what I'm going to do here today. So let's start with the matte yellow, which is called Sunnies. I've been seeing a lot of people that I watch, doing yellow eyeshadow lately. A lot of people, and not just this palette. I'm seeing a lot of people just using palettes that have yellows in them. Yellows are traditionally difficult to do. I have some eyeshadow palettes that have yellows in them, and it's like the only dud in the palette, so I'm dying to see how this is going to perform. All right, I'm going to start with my AOA Studio brush. It's the E127. These are part of the Paw Paw kit from shopmissy.com. Very inexpensive, but fantastic brushes. They wash and dry so nicely. They don't stain no matter what I use. Like if I use pressed pigments or whatever, they never stain, and they're white, which is amazing. I can't say enough good things about these brushes. But Profusion makes brushes, and I want to try those. So I'm just tapping my brush into this. By the way, this is a vegan, cruelty-free palette. And the reason why that's such an amazing big deal is how many times have you seen bright, bright shades like that and have them be vegan? Not very often. Okay, so I'm going to start on the outside corner and do small circles. I didn't really know how much product to pick up, so I just very lightly tapped my brush in there. Okay, so now I have some idea what I'm working with, so just go back in and pick up some more. Yellow is not the most complementary color for my skin tone because my skin is very pink. So keep that in mind. But, you know, I'm not one of those people that only uses makeup colors that complement me. I want to use all the colors. I don't care what color they are. I don't care what looks good and what doesn't look good. I just want to use all the colors. I like to have fun with makeup. Makeup for me is one of the biggest things in my life that takes away all the stress, all the problems, whatever is going on. It all kind of melts away when I do my makeup. It's a very important hobby, I think, especially for the times we live in. Because, you know, just life in general throws a lot at you. I don't care who you are or what your circumstances are. Life can be difficult at times. Okay, now I'm going to go back in and just do the outside edge of my lids. So yeah, makeup can be an escape. You know, when you sit down and do your makeup every day, even if you're not going anywhere, sit down and do your makeup. It's going to make you feel so much better. I've heard so many people on YouTube lately say, oh, I haven't been doing my makeup lately because I'm not going anywhere. It doesn't matter. Just do it for you. Do it for the fun of it. Do it because it makes you happy, you know? It's the little things in life, you guys, that can sometimes be the most important. Okay. I'm just doing a little bit at a time because I don't want to do too much in one area. Once you put too much on, you can't really remove it without screwing it up. So I like to build my makeup slowly. Okay. Next, I am going to go in with this AOA Studio E131 brush, and it's just a small shader brush. And we're going to go into that shimmery Psych shade. And this is the first time I've used this palette, so I don't know what to expect. So I'm going to pick up some of that on my brush. Oh, this is so pretty. My shirt that I'm wearing is not actually yellow. It looks yellow to me, but on the tag it said safety green. So it's not really yellow, but boy, it sure looks yellow to me. This is the shirt that a lot of landscapers wear. I've noticed when you see like a professional landscaping company at somebody's house, a lot of times they all have on like these matching shirts, usually with the name of the landscaping company printed on the front. But it's the closest thing I have to a yellow shirt. I used to have some, but I think I got rid of them because I didn't really like them that much. Oh, this is just going on and blending beautiful. And look at the way the light catches the shimmer. I kind of wish they had put more shimmers in this palette, you know what would have been cool is if they had done the whole top row shimmers and then the bottom row mattes. Yeah, why just one shimmer? That's so odd, isn't it? You would think it would have either been all matte or a combination, but just one shimmer. But I'll tell you, for a shimmer, that is really, really pretty. Maybe just a little bit more in the corner here. Yeah, I love the way the light catches that. Okay, so I think a complementary color to the yellow would be this green, right? A lot of people would go for the orange, but yeah, I want to do the green. Okay, I'm going to pick up an AOA Studio E130 brush, and we're just going to dip the brush into the green. Ooh, this seems to be quite a bit more pigmented than the yellow that I used. And I'm going to do like the outside corner, the very outside of my lid, and then I'm just going to kind of dust it right along the top of the yellow. So we just have like a hint of the green, because I don't want to take away from the yellow, but I thought it might make it more interesting just to have another shade in there. Okay, now I'm going to use this Zoeva pencil brush, and do we want to use the green for that too, or no? Let's use another color. Which one? I'm thinking either Heat Wave or Gnarly. Or both, right? Yeah, well, we could do that. Let's start with the light orange and drag that along the lower lash line. And then dip into Heat Wave and put that just on the outer portion. Like that. Okay, I'm going to pick up that E127 brush and just, is that the one I used? No, sorry, the E130 brush, and just dip back into that green one more time. Okay. All right. I'm just doing one eye at a time because I'm talking a lot, so I don't want the video to be too crazy long. By the way, a lot of times when I curl my lashes, I don't even say what the eyelash curler is, and I never write it in the description box. This is a Shiseido eyelash curler. I got it at Ulta, had it for a long time, and you know, it's a little expensive because it's Shiseido, but it was a good investment because I've used it like every day for years, and I've never even had to replace the rubber strip. It just hasn't cracked or broken, or it's stayed in good shape for a long, long time. Okay, I'm going to start off with Maybelline the Falsies Lash Lift Mascara. And I'm just going to do my bottom lashes. I always do my bottom lashes first. That way, when I do my top lashes, I don't get transfer when I'm looking up. So if you get transfer, try doing your bottom lashes first. And I think you will find that you probably won't get transfer. Milani, the violet one. lash primer. It gets kind of goopy, but just wipe the excess off back into the tube and you'll be fine. This makes such a difference with your mascara. Yeah, it's gonna even look a little goopy on your lashes, but that's okay. You can blend your mascara right into it. And I don't even wait for it to dry. I think it blends better if you go in when it's wet. So wiggle and lift. A little bit of the lash primer can sometimes come off on the mascara one, but that's fine. It's not going to hurt anything. Okay, let me do the other eye and come back and tell you what I think. Okay, I forgot 2 steps. Do you know what they are? It's not too late. I can fix that, but you know, I kind of like the way it looks already. So let's see how it changes because of those 2 steps. Okay, recently I bought the Essence It's All About Brows 4-in-1 palette, and I started off using just this color, then another time I used just that color, then I started mixing them, which is tough because you're trying to get exactly the same mixture of color from one brow to the other, but I think that looks the most natural. If I just use that, it's too light. If I just use that, it's too dark. So anyway, I did my brows before I started, but this is a wax. This is a shimmery bone color. I have been using this as my brow bone highlight and my inner corner highlight. It goes with everything and it is so gorgeous, you guys. So let's take the Smack 239 shader brush and go into that color and just put a little bit as my brow bone highlight. It's just, oh my god, it's so pretty. And it, like I said, it goes with everything. Because it's not white and it's not even really beige. It's just the most beautiful color. Okay. Yep. Okay, so that was one thing I forgot. Do you know what the other thing was? Eyeliner. I kind of like the way it looks just like this, so let's see if it looks better or worse with the eyeliner. I'm going to use Maybelline Tattoo Studio Gel Pencil Liner in Smooth Walnut. I thought this, you know, brown with yellow and orange and green, I thought this would probably be my best bet. I don't know, black looks good with anything though, but let's just put some of this on. I think I'm gonna go light. I have a tendency to use too much eyeliner, so just very lightly. Okay, that was a good choice, I think. It doesn't, I think black would have been too much. This looks more natural and it blends, looks good with the color that I dragged underneath. Okay. All right, so as far as the palette goes, obviously, this is the first time I've used it, so this is a first impressions video. So I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shades out of 10. So next time I use the palette, I think it'd be a good idea to use this, 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 and this, right? But what I noticed is this shimmery color is gorgeous. I love the way the light is just catching on those shimmers and it just glows. Beautiful and blended like a dream. Now, as far as the mattes that I used goes, I did notice that the pigmentation was quite uneven from shade to shade. And it's not a big deal. You know, this palette was $5, so that's 50 cents a shadow. So as long as the end result, as long as I'm happy with the end result, I don't care if I have to blend a little more or add a little more product. I'm fine with that. In some ways, I like that better because when eyeshadows are too pigmented, sometimes it can just be so much work trying to blend them, and then sometimes they can even get muddy. I don't find that Profusion shadows do that. You can blend colors together and you don't get any muddiness, and it doesn't do weird things. You can blend as many colors as you want into a look and it's going to be fine. So I'm happy with this. I'm glad I bought it. And the main reason why I wanted this was this shade right here. It's called At Sea because there is a shade in that Kaleidoscope palette that is going to look so good with. So I want to pair these two palettes together and use that shade with the one in the Kaleidoscope palette. I really want to try their brushes though, too. But they don't sell the brushes at hardly any of the Walmarts that I've been to. Unfortunately, the Walmarts that have the brushes are not close by to me, but we'll see. We'll see. So that's it for today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching.